I had a couple thoughts on that. I love that diagram, by the way. It's really nice. So what I like about it is, first of all, you have risk in there, right? And you talk about identifying risk, and I assume then, that risk concept you pull through your entire testing process, right?
Absolutely.
Which I like that. A lot of models you see, even other approaches that are talking about testing in more of a continuous delivery model, they don't talk a lot about risk, which you have to talk about, right? We can't test everything. I love that. The other thing I love is that you're talking about testing not only the application, but any code or environment or system, right, that your application must be successful on. And that's another thing you don't see in a lot of the testing models that are out there. They don't talk about the other things that have to be tested.
Yes.
And it gets us away from just thinking of software testing as being testing of the application, right?
Yeah. And I actually have stopped using the word software testing. Either say product testing or testing, because it's not only the software we test. As soon as we say that software testing, we've made a little bubble and we're testing the software. And you just, as you said, there's so much more.
Yeah, so let's elaborate on that a little bit more. So there's models out there, and there's a term out there that we hear a lot, which is continuous testing, right?
Yes.
How do you differentiate holistic testing from continuous testing in your mind? How related are they? Are they the same thing? Are they different? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, so continuous testing was a good term. Unfortunately, in my experience, in my opinion, whenever I read about it now, it's kind of been hijacked by some of the tool vendors, and they use it to mean automation. And so they just kind of eliminated all of those human-centric kinds of testing that we need to do. And if you look at that model, that whole left side of that model is kind of about testing ideas. It's not automation, it's human-centric. Even when we get into after deployment, there's some automation, but we still have to do a lot of the quality attributes. For example, say accessibility. We can do some automation, but there's some things that need a human eye to actually look at. Does this make sense, right?
Yeah, usability too, right?
Exactly.
Which is a hot topic right now, is customer experience and usability. And I mean, those are not things typically, at least not all attributes of usability can be looked at by a computer and determined whether it passed or failed, right? It's a subjective customer experience kind of a concept, and you can't automate those things.
Yeah, and so I think those are some of the reasons that Lisa and I have chosen to use the word holistic.